Hey guys, welcome to Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy and learn how to sing for guys. I'm Ken Tamplin and I'm going to take you on a really cool journey that's going to save you a lot of time and frustration, okay? Now, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm not your average YouTuber. I have over 40 records out. You can go to Wikipedia, look up my name and check all this out. I've toured the world for around 25 years and really have identified what works for singing and what doesn't. I also have a lot of music in film and television. You can go to imdb.com, put in my name and see all the TV shows from Baywatch to X-Files that I've worked on over the years. So I'm not your average YouTuber and not all information is created equal. So I just kind of want to start there because it's going to save you a lot of frustration. Now, I've also studied under some of the world's greatest vocal coaches and I've learned that not all of them agree. In fact, they're very conflicting and confusing and a lot of them can't even sing to themselves, so they couldn't really demonstrate this. Well, I'm about to demonstrate it for you, and I want you to come along for this ride. I promise, if you want to learn how to sing, this will be well worth your time. Now, I do have a singing course. The course is called How to Sing Better Than Anyone Else. You can find it right here at kentamplinvocalacademy.com if you want to take your studies further. I also have a free singing forum on my website that has well over 20,000 aspiring singers and singers in there for those of you that want to learn if you want to take your studies further. But I also have over 1,100 videos on YouTube of really cool tutorials if you just want to kind of kick the tires and get your feet wet to see if singing is right for you. Now, most people don't take their singing to any kind of level because of lack of confidence. That's a huge thing. I don't want anyone to hear me. I don't feel like I'm good enough, or I don't think I can ever sing, which I have a video out. You should check it out. It's called Can Anyone Learn to Sing? And I will put that in the description. Just go and kind of click through some of these links. You guys are going to really want to check all this stuff out because, again, it's going to save you a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of frustration, and build your confidence for singing. The second thing is the complaint that you get and what inhibits or keeps people from wanting to learn to sing is they hate their vocal tone. I hate the sound of my voice, it just sucks, whatever. Or I just can't get any range. Every time I go up, I choke off my chords and I'll do all this stuff. And it's true. I mean, I remember when I started, I had no range. True story. Yes, I've been singing a long time, so I've learned a lot of stuff and I've spent around $1 million on my voice with different vocal coaches and all the recordings I've done and testing what works and what doesn't. But I hated my vocal tone. I had no range and I had very little stamina. In fact, I would go hoarse after about 3 songs of singing because I like to sing hard. And some of you say, well, I want to sing high and I want to sing distorted. Baby steps. Let's just talk about baby steps and how to get there. So now there's a lot of information on YouTube and I've yet to see any really great bona fide information on the actual, true, legitimate building blocks for singing. Now, I want to start here. The very first thing, I know I've said this before in some other tutorials, but I'm going to break this down even further. Again, if you want to learn how to sing, I promise you, if you just do what I say, you'll be blown away at the gains and increases that you'll get with your voice. Support. Support is king. This is what I want you to do. I want you to get a chalkboard and I want you to write up on a wall that you're going to go down this list with me every time you try to do a scale or something with me or wherever you're going to do this from, and go down my checklist. Okay, so support is king. I'm going to talk about that more in a minute. The second thing is a relaxation response in the chest, in the neck, and in the throat. This is extremely important, okay? So you're going to constantly be reminding yourself to stave off and shake off the stress because this, your support or your entire abdominal cavity, is the engine that drives your car for singing. I cannot stress this enough, how important this is, because without this, the rest of this becomes like Fred Flintstone in the Flintstone mobile going whoop, 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 with his feet, right? Instead of an actual engine that drives the car. So without this, everything else collapses, or at best, you're going to be creating moving targets and bad habits for yourself. They're going to frustrate you and have this little demon whispering in your ear saying, you can't do it. See, I told you suck. Record yourself. Listen back. You sound awful. I did plenty of that, and I had plenty of the awful guys talking to me in my ear. So support, relaxation response in the chest, in the neck, in the throat, and the vocal tract. What is the vocal tract? It's a fancy word for your throat. I'm not going to go into all the details of that, but I do have some really cool free tutorials on YouTube on diaphragmatic support. I'm going to cover it now, but I also have a whole tutorial on this on YouTube for free about what it takes and what is required for the diaphragm. How this will give you stamina, range, pitch, control, you name it, this is your man, okay? The relaxation response is key because that way it doesn't start to mount tension. And then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're straining and squeezing and pinching in the throat. And the open throat technique with the bright ping in the back of the throat, we're gonna talk about in a minute, is gonna give you the clarity in your throat to start building good resonance to give you the tone you're looking for. And then once this is achieved, we build muscle memory to get strength and endurance to give us more range, power, better pitch, control, etc. Okay? Now, before we get started on the actual scales themselves for vowels, we're just gonna do something called a lip drill. Now, many of you guys have probably cruised around the internet and seen this, and like I said, I've seen a lot of tutorials on YouTube where they don't build this from the ground up. So the first thing we're gonna do is a lip drill. Now this is for guys, I'm gonna do one for ladies also, but this is for you guys in your vocal range or what would be considered your tessitura. Now I am a high baritone, so I start warming up my voice as a high baritone, as are most males, okay? There's some tenors out there, there's some 11ers out there, no, but there's some baries and basses and whatnot, but this is the mean average of where most guys sing. So some of you say, I know, I've seen the lip drill and I can't do it. You go with your lips and you can't really move them. Now, some people do this, where they pinch their lips together, their cheeks together, to allow their lips to relax. You can do that to start, but I suggest you move away from that and just walk around the house and just go wet the lips, kind of get them wet. Because you're looking for a relaxation response in the face. And there are most people that get so tensed up, they can't do it because they don't have relaxation response. Now, I was not able to do this when I first started singing. I had to learn it. So everyone can do it. They just have to learn it. So if you can't do it, just know you're not alone. It's something we practice like anything we practice, okay? You can start this way, but I suggest that you move on from that and do the best you can to get past that. Now, we're gonna do a simple major scale triad, and we're gonna start all the way down here. So if it's too low for you, guys, you can wait till it comes up, but we're just gonna go. Okay, so now I wanna go. That's the scale, right? I'm not going to talk about support just yet, though I said it's the engine that drives your car. I'm going to break this down, and then I'm going to play a game of Simon Says with you. Right now, Simon says you do nothing without taking the breath and using diaphragmatic support. If you don't, you're out of the game, okay? So no matter what I confuse you with in your throat and this and that and talk about different stuff, if you don't take your breath and you don't have the engine, the likelihood is that your throat will collapse. You're gonna pinch and squeeze and choke and this and that, and you're gonna get all frustrated, okay? So we're gonna come back to this over and over again. Again, you're gonna put on a wall, on a chalkboard, you're gonna go support. First thing you're gonna look at, okay, did I support? Before I do anything, take a breath. Before I do a scale, a lip drill, nothing. I'm gonna go, did I support, right? Then am I relaxed? Am I in a relaxed state? Okay, now what am I supposed to do? Okay, support, relax state. Now what am I supposed to do? So I'm gonna do it nice and slow. Just try to match the tones as best as possible. Now, for a lot of baritones and high baries, and even in the case of some tenors, you're going to start to feel it pull there a little bit, like, gosh, I'm starting to feel a little tension in the throat, and that is because you're trying to stay in what is called chest voice, or your call register, or maybe even your speaking register, which are different. And I don't have the time to cover all that right now. Just know that I'm speaking in my speaking register right now. My belting register is like, hey, 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 well, I'm calling out to someone. There's something called the passaggio, which is the register break. Hey, hey, that awkward yodel that you have between your chest voice and your head voice. So for simplification purposes, I'm just gonna refer to this as chest voice, And this, your falsetto, as head voice, okay? Chest voice, head voice. I'm gonna keep this really simple. So right about here, do it with me again. You're probably feeling a little pulling sensation at the top. And that's because you're trying to stay in chest voice. Initially, what we want to do is we want to roll into head voice just to wake up the voice first. Now, one of the biggest mistakes even more advanced singers do is when they're in a rush, they try to wake up the voice too quickly. And when you do that, it puts strain on the voice. And no matter how good of a singer you are, you actually hurt the voice at a point where you kind of get frustrated because you can't get to that placement that you had when you were singing in the shower. You know what I mean? Where it was really easy to sing. So what happens is you kind of shock the voice and the voice goes, hey man, I just can't do this. You woke me up too quickly. You want to take your time to wake up the voice and do this correctly. So if you want to roll into chest voice to head voice, it's a good idea to do that so that you can relax and wake the voice up. So let's start back here. Right there, I'm rolling into head voice at the top, my falsetto. Let's come back down. If your lips don't move, kind of lick them, keep them wet because it makes it easier for them to move. Okay, now as I promised, I was going to come back to support. I just wanted to kind of wake up the voice a little bit. Now, I was using diaphragmatic support, and you can hear it. Now, if you don't use diaphragmatic support, you're going to feel yourself going and hardly going up at all and feeling strain. So I want you to practice something. I want to practice this idea or this concept of calling out to somebody. Now, I'm not looking for you to build stress in the stomach or tension in the abdomen, but it's a good way to just kind of understand, am I using diaphragmatic support? So I just want you to go, hey, and you're going to take this breath from your stomach right here. You're going to breathe in, and you're not going to breathe in so much from your chest. It's from your tummy, your stomach. You're going to, hey, breathe in again. Hey, breathe in again. Hey, and you're going to feel this strength. Now, if I didn't have this strength, this is what it would sound like. Hey, 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 right? I don't have anywhere near the strength or the engine that would drive my car. So I'm going to take in this breath and I'm going to do another exercise, and it's called the tongue exercise. Now, it might look kind of silly, but it's worthy, okay? You're going to have the feeling of the sensation like a ball in the back of your throat. And the vowel that you're going to sing, just like you did on the lip drill, will have the sensation of singing the word love. La, of, okay? We're going to go like this. Now from my stomach. Hey, hey, Okay, so every single scale we do, you're going to do that. Now, you're not going to use as much air and as much power in that, but it will help you understand the beginning stages of using your diaphragm. So here we go. I got it, okay. Hey, I'm calling out, hey. Okay, I got that strength. Take take the breath, relax the stomach. Remember, that's number 2 on your checklist, right? The support and a relaxation response. So between each breath, you're going to totally relax the stomach so that it doesn't be like the guy that's doing dumbbells or barbells where he does a bunch of reps and his relaxing point he thinks is here, which could be your stomach that's all bound up. That's not relaxing at all because it doesn't give you the ebb and flow and the freedom in the stomach to be able to do this over and over again without building or mounting tension in the chest and the neck and in the throat. Here's the next one. Feel that pulling sensation again at the top. If you're going, hey, you're trying to pull your chest voice up, go ahead and roll into head voice, your falsetto. This is just to open up and wake up the cords. Think of the word like love in the throat, like there's a ball. There you heard my yodel a little bit. I didn't relax enough and keep the throat open. And we're going to talk about training the throat to stay open. But even I just did that. I'm not warmed up today. I'm doing this with you guys. It's kind of cool that even I still kind of have to work at it, guys. I'm not immune from this. And if you do hear the yodel, it's okay, but it'd be really good if you pulled back the volume to where you could get through the passaggio, the register break, without hearing that yodel to start to build the passaggio. Did you remember to do the breath between each phrase? Did you remind yourself? Did you look at your chalkboard and say, man, I can kind of feel I'm already starting to build a little tension in my neck. It's kind of feeling in the back and the front, right? Remind yourself of that because this bad boy down here is going to relax all this up here. Now, another thing you probably noticed is you're starting to get a little bit of a bright ping in your sound. It's kind of sounding brighter, huh? Hey, it's kind of getting brighter. Well, ping is king. Now, I've coined a lot of phrases, and that's one of them. And that bright ping is the only true sound that actually grows the voice. So the overuse of air is the arch enemy to the vocal folds. So if you use too much air, what's going to happen is you dry out the cords and you lose phonation or sound, and you get something called dysphonia. Dysphonia is just the lack of sound or not being able to phonate, okay? Now, so we're gonna move on to the next scale or the next tutorial on ah, la, ah. Now, why this ah vowel is so important is that all vowel sounds, all of them, stem from the ah vowel. And let me explain why. The ah vowel is the biggest vowel we have. Ah. Ah. Now, you remember me hearing me use the word vocal tract or vocal tract shaping? The vocal tract is the throat, and this ah vowel, since it's the biggest vowel we have, it's the hardest vowel to manage. So if you have E, it's smaller, or U is really small, right? Those vowels don't require as much strength and build up as much sound pressure in the throat. Though they can, depending on going from an ah to an U, you go from a big sound to a small sound, you're taking a lot of force into a small sound. And I don't have time to cover all that. I cover that in my singing course. So again, if you guys want to take your studies further, KenTamplinVocalAcademy.com, where I have a singing course called How to Sing Better Than Anyone Else. But on this ah vowel, it's the la, ah. This bright ping and the back of the throat, I recommend that you either get a handheld mirror or a mirror that you can look at when you're doing this. I don't care if you have to go into the bathroom or wherever you got a credenza in your living room or in your bedroom or something. Go up to this mirror. I want you to look at the back of your throat. And I want you to go, and you go, oh wow, I'm not really opening my throat very much, am I? Ken wants me to go, ah, like the doctor wants to see your tonsils. He's looking with a flashlight in the back and he wants to see the back of your throat. Now what that does is it drops the tongue to the base of the jaw, okay? And it opens up the back of the throat. Now you're gonna be shocked as you start going through some of your vowels, you're gonna watch your tongue go back and constrict in the back of the throat, and you're literally gagging on your tongue, and you're wondering why it sounds like you're singing through cotton, or you have a sock stuffed in the back of your throat, or like you're kind of singing through a pillow or something, right? Because the tongue starts to constrict in the back of the throat. We want to drop it to the base of the jaw and open up that throat as much as possible so that we get resonance or ping, right? Ping in the throat. So on the ah vowel, we're going to go la. Really open, look in that mirror. Is your jaw open? Now you feel that pulling sensation? It's okay still to go a little bit into head voice, but now we're going to start to wake up the chest voice a little bit more and bring it online so we can start to build resonance in the chest voice, because we have to build our chest voice first before we start building the passaggio, before we start building head voice, because it is the foundation of the house that you're about to build. Let me say this again. Your chest voice is the very concrete and foundation that we are laying as the cornerstone to build your house. If this is built incorrectly, you will not be able to build your walls or build other room additions on that house with consistency. So if you're wondering, I just can't be consistent. I try this song and sometimes I can sing the note and sometimes I can't. It's this, folks, building consistency. And that's what I mean when I say that not all information is created equal with all these people offering all this YouTube advice. Trust me on this. This is absolutely key. So again, did you remember the support? The relaxation response? Constantly remind yourself, open throat. Here we go. You can start to wake up the voice. You don't have to go quite so much into falsetto. Now, the higher up we go, the more strength we need in the sound. If you notice, you can hear something called resistance. Resistance meaning resistance in the stomach of strength. Now, I like to build an analogy for people. Have you guys ever seen that belt that people put around their feet, and it's kind of an elastic thing with handle grips, and people go, and they do this isometric kind of strength training, right? Think of that as your abdomen. Right? So the higher up you go, the more strength you need in the abdomen to sustain and hold up that note. Otherwise, it's going to collapse in the throat. You're going to crack. It's going to collapse. You're going to go, and you're going to start blaming the throat. Don't blame the throat. Blame your stomach first. And remind yourself, I feel like Mr. Rogers. Boys and girls, did you remind to take your breath? Right? So did you remember to take your breath? So let's do it again. Take the breath. Relaxation response. And the higher up we go, the more strength we're going to need. Open that throat like the doctor wants to see your tonsils. Keep reminding yourself of this. Now, I'm going to stop on this F sharp 4 for a reason, for now. And that's because most baritones, that's about the highest note that they would normally hit, okay? Now, I go, I can easily sing an octave of that and everything in between, because I've trained my voice to a place where I know how to get to all of these places with strength, a relaxation response, and correct vowel placement. That is what it is all about. This is like the holy grail of singing. If you get this down, you're just going to go, oh my gosh, I can't believe how fast my voice is growing, how much I'm learning. And if you build this correctly, you will save yourself from the pitfalls of not getting the consistency and putting moving targets in front of you that you hit sometimes and you don't hit, and, whatever. So let's come back down. Okay, now, what we're going to do is we're going to pause for 1 second and we're going to say, gosh, Ken, that's cool. And I do feel like my voice is growing and it's a lot easier and I feel freedom in my singing, etc. Let's combine all this together and just remind yourself, or I'll try to remind you as we're going through it. We're just going to do the lip drill, the tongue exercise, and this one exercise back to back to warm up the voice and give you the confidence that you're looking for to know that if you're able to do this, and you're able to get this with consistency, you absolutely can learn how to sing. Here we go. Remember the breath. Remember to relax the stomach between the breaths. Strength in the abdomen, resistance at the top. Lick the lips if they don't burble. Remember the breath. The tongue exercise like you're singing the word love. Add a little chest voice and get past the falsetto. Start to bring chest into the sound. Strength in the abdomen. Cool. The ah vowel, it's the la ah. Doctor wants to see your tonsils. Go over your checklist. Breathing, breath support, relaxation response. It's the la ah. La. La. Resistance, strength at the top. La. La. Okay, cool. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take about a 3-minute break. Stop the tape, wait for 3 minutes. I want you to let your voice relax for a second. We just did a lot in a very short period of time for someone just learning how to sing, okay? And we want to build up stamina safely and correctly over time. So you can stop and you can redo these last exercises I just did back to back, and maybe even take it higher, to hear a note or two, because you're going to find out that the voice is starting to wake up and you're able to get another note, maybe 2 more notes out of it, and then you can use that and go up a couple notes higher. And this is how we correctly grow and learn how to sing for guys. Please like and subscribe to my channel. That would be cool. Don't forget, I do have an amazing singing course. It's from the basics of our beginners all the way to the most advanced professionals at KenTamplinVocalAcademy.com. And definitely check out my free singing forums over there, because there's a lot of incredible information from a lot of people that just want to learn how to sing. Okay, thanks guys, and until next time, peace out.